Hi guys, it's Shadi again. Uh, yeah, second live, Facebook Live. I want to talk about some stuff. So, the reason why people suffer, the reason why you suffer emotionally a lot, uh, is because, and the reason why you're still suffering, okay, is because your linguistic cortex has taken over your whole being, okay? Your your thoughts. Your thoughts about, so you go through this life, you're born and then you start growing up, and then as you go through life, you're accumulating so much from everywhere, okay? And most of the time, 80% of the time, you're not aware of what you're taking in. Even now, especially now these days, like you just uh, jump on a YouTube or Facebook and you're just reading some articles, you're reading some posts, you're watching some video, jumping from a video to an article to a movie to whatever, and you're not even aware that you're actually creating new constructs in the mind, new paradigms. You are absorbing worldviews from everywhere, okay? Some are negative, some are positive, okay? So, and you're not even aware of that. So, I'll give an example. For example, let's talk about, um, let's say, in dating, there's this very, very common misconception about power dynamics, like power. You have to, for example, some people believe that a relationship has to be about who's the most powerful, okay? Instead of it being like a peaceful collaboration between two individuals. So you are watching something on YouTube. Let's say you're watching a video, relationship coach talking about, oh, you have to fight for your ego in a relationship, you have to be perceived as the most powerful, blah blah blah. And there could be some truth to that, but depending on the person that you're with, okay? Because some people respond to power dynamics more than others, okay? And why would you want to be with a person like that? Somebody who's low self-esteem, who wants to be, they want you to like play with them, like push and pull just to keep them interested in you and all that stuff. You don't want that. Some people do exist who actually don't want that. They would leave you if you actually did that to them, okay? So the topic here is the idea here is you're watching some videos, and you could be watching out of curiosity, okay? You could be watching out of curiosity. But you are not aware at some point that you start binge watching, let's say, some concept like this, and say, and at some point, this idea develops, like it becomes a concept in the head, and when you go out into the world, you start perceiving the world, you start perceiving relationships through that lens, and you start attracting people who are in favor of that concept, and unconsciously you start to defend in certain situations this new worldview, okay? And why do we need worldviews? Why does the mind, why is a very good question here. Why does it happen in the first place? Why does it automatically happen, unconsciously? Why shouldn't it be the opposite, which is the mind deconstructing and letting go and dropping thoughts and ideas and concepts coming from other people, from videos, automatically after watching them, after absorbing them, after hearing something, you just drop it and have a silent mind, let's say, an awakened mind, a clear mind, without any beliefs or thoughts, but using thoughts and using beliefs and then dropping them instead of having them become an ideology. So why? Why is that? I'd say first of all is because of the way you were taught, how society is, how children are taught from the start. You are taught the word I am I, me. You are taught the word me. And you needed something as a child to hold on to, which is the I. And that I, they teach you, and it gets stuck inside the head, and you go through life with that I, and that I basically becomes the center of your identity, the center of your being, which is at the end of the day just a word, okay? An awakening would be to realize this. Be careful of these accumulations of information that become identities, and you start living them, you start defending them. Why? Because most of your life you've been accumulating so much stuff, okay? You've been accumulating so much stuff unconsciously, and it comes natural to the mind to accumulate this stuff because the I, as I said, you needed something to hold on to make you feel alive as a child. You cannot go about as a child. It's very rare for a child to actually develop without an ego. Okay, the ego is very important. The linguistic ego is very important for a child to go through life, to interact with people. Okay, I don't think it would be possible for a child to actually learn that the I is not them, and they still don't have that mental capacity yet. Okay, awakening needs some sort of consciousness, and that will start to develop around the ages of 18 and above. Okay, so maybe 17. So naturally it comes to you, you're going through life, that you accumulate all this stuff. And imagine how much stuff you've accumulated. Things that you're not even believing in right now. Like, you might have believed that, I don't know, Superman exists as a 7-year-old, but you still have that stuff inside your head. Even till this day, it might not come up, but it does affect you unconsciously. It still affects the body. It still affects the way you carry yourself. Beliefs. This is what I'm talking about. Beliefs. Okay. Beliefs, ideologies, paradigms, the way you see dating, relationships, the way you see friendships. Maybe in friendships you also believe that you might have read like an article, some stupid article, and you believe that friendship is all about taking. And you have to take as much as you can before people screw you over. Because that's what you've stumbled across. Okay, some people cannot really entertain two opposite thoughts. If you're watching some videos about one single thing, 99% of people don't have the proper awareness, the proper consciousness and awakening, the degree of awakening to which they can actually watch a person shit talk another group of people, or introduce a negative paradigm, something negative, and actually listen to them openly, but not take that as a personal belief. as not absorbing that. Just listen and just leave it at that. So most people, they would just, because we're so unconscious, mostly in front of the computer, in front of the laptop, you just move. Most of the time, um, I mean, these days we're taking these tools for granted, okay? But they're the social media tools. They've been designed they got designed in a way to make you even more unconscious. Okay, you just, I give an example. You jump on YouTube, you open your laptop, you jump on YouTube, and then you start watching videos. That's all you think. You think that's all you're thinking. Like you're thinking, I'm gonna open up my laptop, jump on YouTube, and just fucking like watch some stuff. Okay, that's all you're thinking. But you're not thinking, okay, yeah, I know my mind is stupid. I know that I don't have that much awareness, and maybe if I start watching these types of videos or this type of videos, then I start believing stuff. Or maybe and when I go out into the world, I start maybe looking at the world through that lens. Okay, so 99% of people don't have this capacity, this going meta capacity, like going metaphysical, looking at yourself from above. And this is developed through awareness, through consciousness. This is what I work with. This is what I develop in my with my clients and in my programs. Okay, in my healing programs and spiritual awakening programs. So, why do you suffer? Let's get back to the first question. Why do you suffer a lot emotionally? Why do you get depressed? Why do you have anxiety, social anxiety, whatever, approach anxiety in dating, uh, friendship making anxiety, whatever it is, depression, anger issues with your spouse, with your children, with your family, with your girlfriend, self-hate, failure. Why do you suffer a lot emotionally? Why are you not peaceful here and here? Why? And as I said again, it comes back to the mind unconsciously having accumulated and still accumulating all this stuff without any conscious awareness. There's a difference between watching a video consciously and watching a video unconsciously. There's a difference between reading an article consciously and reading an article unconsciously. If you're reading an article about vegetarianism, for example, I don't eat meat, okay, but maybe tomorrow I start eating meat. I'm not like super ideological about it. So, but most people, they start like reading, they read something, let's say they read about veganism, becoming vegan, and they start liking the idea. But most people are not awakened spiritually. So the way that the other person is gonna deliver the information to you, the energy behind those words that they use to write that article, there is energy. Do not underestimate just words on the internet. There, each word, like, when's the last time you felt something from a text message somebody sent you? Some anger from that text message. You see what I'm talking about here, okay? You can know almost everything about a person just from the way they're texting you, okay? Like literally. You know their mood, their current mood, what they were feeling the whole day, on that day, and maybe even their childhood traumas, their future, just from a single, from the way they text you, okay? You can know their trauma load or trauma volume. Um, so let's get back to the topic. People write at their level of consciousness, and if you're not awakened spiritually, if you still have traumas, if you still have a lot of stuff to work with, you can be sure that you will be affected the most from anything that you see, read, or hear until you clear the trauma load, until you clear those blockages. Okay, so again, there's if not, then what's gonna happen is you keep on absorbing all this information. Even this video you're watching, you might be watching this video and you're like, oh, I'm watching this guy on a video and he's just talking about stuff, and you're not even seeing me as a human being with emotions. And so you just turn on your laptop, or you're watching from your Android or whatever it is you're watching from. You just turn on Facebook and you just started watching this video, and I'm just a guy on a screen, basically. You're not even aware that I'm a human being most of the time. You're just watching, oh, you just read the title of this video. I don't even know what's it gonna be, by the way, but you read the title and you're like, oh, I could get something out of this video. That's why you're watching, basically. Most of the time, that's why you're watching. You're not even aware that I'm a human being. And this is how you absorb information almost all the time, everywhere, anywhere you go. And this is the problem. And this is the problem that's making you suffer emotionally. Why? Because unconscious absorption of information, of words, not just on the internet, even if you're going to university or at your job, you're just listening unconsciously, you're just taking all this stuff, and all these words, you go out into the world and your mind is so unconsciously absorbing all this stuff. At the same time, it's gonna unconsciously project all that, all these words and ideologies and beliefs and information onto the world again. So you absorb, and then you put on those glasses, you start looking at the world from all that stuff. And it's not just one single lens, it's thousands upon stuff that you've accumulated throughout your whole life. Okay, so you have the absorption function, which is unconscious. You need to make that conscious. I do that with my clients in my programs. And the second one is taking all what you've absorbed and projecting it back outwards through your perception. So the way you hear, you're gonna hear differently. What you see, you're gonna see different. Even colors can be seen differently, just from your ideologies, the way you. And what makes you feel shitty is not what makes other people feel bad. Okay. Well, most people have common problems like self-esteem issues, like depression, anxiety, whatever. But still, a person who's healed their traumas, or at least 80% of their emotional, energetic, mental blockages, they're not going to experience, they're not going to have the same problems as you. Okay, so for you, if you have a lot of issues, for example, I might take, this is my mouse, by the way, so I might take this mouse and do like this, as an example, just do this, and you might get angry, or you might get annoyed. Okay, but even me talking, my voice might annoy you, just because it reminds you of somebody that you don't like, for example. But somebody who's healed a lot, they become more accepting, more forgiving, and more connected. Therefore, they are able to connect with more people, and they have less thoughts, less worries. Okay. So you absorb and you project. And those projections, because you absorb unconsciously, uncontrollably, you're going to project unconsciously, uncontrollably, which is going to make you understand the world uncontrollably, understand people unconsciously, and how our emotions form, basically. Emotions are formed through your perception. Unless it's an energy or chakra blockage, that's a different story for another video. Yeah, if I do this, you absorb the information, and then, you see what happened, and you understand it through prior knowledge, prior unconscious knowledge in this case. And if your unconscious knowledge is basically some people, they had very good childhoods. So if I do this, for example, as an example, it could be anything like a car crash or whatever. Some people, they might freak out. Okay, it's a car crash in front of them happening, and for me, for example, I'm just like, okay, it's a car crash and it's fine. It's no problem. I'm not gonna freak out. It's totally fine for me. You see. So again, why do you suffer? You suffer because you're absorbing information, you're absorbing unconsciously, you're absorbing beliefs unconsciously, you are understanding the world unconsciously. So it's all related. Unconscious absorption, unconscious projection, and unconscious understanding. So 3 phases here. And the last phase, unconscious understanding of reality, is what makes you feel like crap. So if you can actually tweak the way you see the world, you're gonna feel less negative emotions. You can control the way you see the world, you will control the way you feel. Okay? Again, we go back to the example of the car crash. For me, car crash happening, 100 people died in front of me, I might feel like, oh yeah, it's really bad, but okay, no negative emotions at all. I just accept it in the moment like this. For you, same thing that happens to you, or let's say the example of a romantic breakup, okay? Like a breakup. For me, it might take like a few weeks. For you, it might take 7 years to get over it. Why? Because of the way you understand the situation. And how do you understand the situation? Prior knowledge that you've absorbed throughout your whole life. Okay. So, what do you need to do? What's the point here? What do you need to do? How do you stop the suffering? How do you have less negative emotions in life? How do you have less thoughts? So, at this point in my life, I have almost 0 negative emotions unless something really big happens, okay? And it's very rare. And I have almost 0% thoughts inside my head unless I really want to think. If I want to think, I think. If I don't want to think, I'm chill, okay? So how do you get to this level? What needs to be done, and what I focus on with my clients, is basically, and I'm gonna give you some tips just to start doing this by yourself, okay? Some practical tips for free. So the problem is that you are understanding the world unconsciously. Your understanding of the world is erratic, is uncontrollable. Think of your mind as a dog. You just leave your dog in the street without like a belt on the neck, and you just leave it, it's gonna get lost, okay? That's how your mind is functioning right now. You're not in control of the dog. You're not in control of your mind, okay? You're not in control of the way you understand reality, and this is how... And understanding equals emotions, okay? Understanding the way you see situations will make you feel certain emotions about situations, okay? The goal for me is not basic therapy. I don't work with it might work to some extent, but at some point it just doesn't. You're gonna spend a whole lifetime. What I'm talking about is past childhood trauma. I don't work much with past childhood traumas, okay? Here's the point. How do you solve this? You solve this by reducing, let's say, puncturing the ego directly. Okay, let's say you have the I. The I is the word that you learned that established the linguistic ego within you. The I is just a symbol, it's not you. And my phone might die at any second. It's like 10%, but I try to finish this very quickly. So, the I is upon which all of your beliefs about yourself, life, others are based. The I is what you learn first. You learn other words first, but you have to reinforce the I. If there is no I, you cannot learn anything. You cannot learn you cannot differentiate yourself from your dad or from your mom or from your caregiver or from your siblings or from your friends. If there is no I, you are at one with everything. If you happen to learn, like there's some tribal, I think there's some tribes somewhere, I don't remember where I read this, but tribes who don't actually have the word I. And they do, as far as I could recall, they did some research on this tribe, and they feel much more connected with everything around them, and they don't have any anxiety, not because they're living in the jungle or no, it's because they don't have I, the word I in their language. Okay, so you can go about and work with you can heal your past. It's good. I don't I'm not It's not like I'm not recommending it. I do recommend it. If you're working with a therapist, you continue doing that, or life coach or whatever. Or if you're working with me, current student, or yeah, you can I mean, I still work with past trauma. I still heal your past, but it's like I don't work with I don't go super into detail in the past. Okay, the biggest traumas that you had, and we choose like three, and mostly these three are holding all the others. They're connecting all the others. It's like a web of trauma, and I tackle the biggest three traumas, and you don't even need to talk about them for me to heal them. Okay, so we just bam like this. It's clear. One session. The next session I move on to energy blockages and chakra blockages. That's all I do. Okay? So the solution, what I do basically, is puncture the ego directly. I don't work with thoughts, I don't work with beliefs, I don't work with paradigms, I don't work with ideologies. If you tell me, like, for example, oh yeah, I'm doing this, that, like I have a problem with, I have some anger issues. I have anger issues. So I don't work with the anger directly. I don't touch the anger at all. I'm not going to work with your anger. What exactly am I going to target within your being for you to clear this problem? So, the ego, the I, there is the big I and there's the fragments around it. Okay, think of it as a puzzle. The I for you is so reinforced, it's been reinforced, it's so solid as a symbol inside the head. It's been so reinforced throughout years and years of conditioning and learning around the I, to the point where, let's say, it has pillars that are holding it, very strong pillars. Most of them are like, for example, religion could be a pillar in your I. Um, and I'm not saying you should let go of your religion to heal a trauma. No. To heal a trauma, no. But we have to work with that. We have to puncture the religion I, for example, or even if you're not a religion person, but you were somebody like that. We have to work with that because a few years ago, that was a very big part of your life. Even if you're atheist or spiritual right now, that's a fragment of ego that's very big. That was very big and is still affecting you, and is still fueling the present problem, okay? Which is the anger. Another pillar is family. Your perception of family. How do you perceive your family? Um, Another pillar is sexual energy management. It's a very, very big one if you would like to heal blockages and traumas very quickly, which is what I do in like 2 months stops. So in my major life blockage clearing program. So again, uh, I'm giving you an understanding here, and then we will talk about the practical side of the clearing, and I might share some techniques as well to for you to start actually puncturing the ego, okay, the I. So yeah, it could be religion, family, sexual energy, your dating life, your relationship, romantic relationships. It could be a very big pillar in your ego. Okay, the ego is based on all of this stuff. And why do I need to why do we need to puncture the ego? Why do we need to create holes? And basically, that's what I do, is like create small holes in the ego until these holes start to expand by themselves. It's like creating this, planting these seeds of nothingness in your identity, so that basically the I starts to disintegrate, and at some point during during our work, basically at some point after you follow my guidance, which is also I'm gonna share some tips for free as well. At some point, what's gonna happen is the ego, your I, because you come to me for a problem, right? You come to me for a problem. I'm an energy healer, I'm a therapist. You come to me for a problem to fix or to. Alright, I'm back. Sorry guys, I lost internet for a few seconds there. Okay, so let's continue. Let's finish this. I want to finish this because my phone is gonna die soon. So listen carefully. So listen to me carefully. I'm gonna share something very practical, very useful that you need to do. It's gonna sound super simple, super banal, but this is where I start. This is what I teach my one of the very big uh, healing tools. Let's say healing techniques. Okay. So basically, any emotional blockage is part of the I. Like your family. Your family is part of your I. Your anger is part of your I. Your anger is part of your I. It's part of your perception. It's just, when you were a baby, it didn't exist at all. There was no anger about people. Even if you're an infant, you didn't have that problem. Okay, I'm sure you didn't. Only until you started accumulating all this stuff inside your head. The problem was created at some point. You don't need to find it in the past and just all this past trauma bullshit. Just don't waste your time with that. Okay. So I give you something practical because I need to go, and we'll talk about this next time. Okay. If you have any questions, you can comment down below. I will respond to every single comment. Okay. I will elaborate. I'll give you some tips as well. Okay. You can ask me about anything of what we spoke about on this live, okay, on this video. Also, this is going to be shared on YouTube, so if you're on YouTube, then you could comment down below as well. Now, what do you need to do to start clearing, to start healing? Okay, I give you some tip. It's gonna sound very banal and very simple, but you might be at advanced levels. You might be a coach yourself or an energy healer yourself. Listen to me, but I'm gonna give advice for the majority, okay? And in the next lives, we will do more like advanced techniques, okay? Advanced stuff. So, for 99% of people listening to me, if you wanna heal, if you wanna start healing, if you wanna start healing very, very quickly, if you wanna develop an ability, because you have a capacity to heal. Your being, yourself, your mind, your heart has a capacity to heal very, very quickly. Okay, but you have to tap into it. And in order to tap into it, you have to reduce the thought volume, the thought load, and the belief load. As I told you, puncturing the ego, creating space in the ego. How do you create space in the ego? You create space in the ego through there's many different tools I use. Uh, one of them is awareness. Okay, one of them, and one of the biggest ones, is awareness. How to develop awareness? I still have like 5%. You develop awareness by waking yourself up. If you're watching a video, pause the video, take it as an exercise. You're watching YouTube, write it down, put it on the wall, like stick it on the wall. I'm gonna be watching YouTube next time, or reading an article, and then I'm gonna stop. And I'm gonna think about where this other person is coming from. Are they talking like negative, like shit talking a certain people? And the second question to ask is, is this content that I'm engaging in, is it true 100%? And is there maybe even 0.001% chance that the opposite is correct? Yeah, 9.9 out of 10 times the opposite can be correct. So this exercise is just to create awareness, to shove a stick in the wheel of unconsciousness, that you're like watching videos and reading articles. Pause every single time. Pause. Okay. Second exercise. Next time you jump on your phone, okay, if you can, from time to time during the day, shut down your phone, turn it off completely. And when you're about to use it, you turn it on. This is going to create some kind of awareness. What we're doing is we're slowing down, we're delaying the time from which you actually start using the phone, start absorbing that information unconsciously. You're delaying it. You're a little bit more aware of the phone. And now when you start using the YouTube or whatever, you're a little bit more conscious. It's okay, you can get unconscious again, and you have to take this seriously, okay? The third tip I'd give you is, hey guys, it's Shadi again. So yeah, I had to cut off the live because my phone died. Sorry about that. But um, basically, the third tip would be to spend less time in front of your computer and using all these gadgets at least 3 times a week. Just take some time to yourself without other people and keep your attention inwards. Don't be just like looking around for girls and for guys if you're a woman, and you're just like all over the place. Sit on a bench, be with yourself, just relax. Don't get distracted by cars, or just look in front of you, relax, and keep your attention inwards. If you keep your awareness heals. Just remember this. This is what I work with on, like in my programs. It's much more advanced. We increase that attention, the power of that attention. We reinforce it with certain higher states of consciousness, and the healing becomes much stronger, much faster. Okay. Even in therapy, okay, it's not the therapy that heals you. It's you. It's your awareness, your attention, where you put your mind to, okay? So keep your attention inwards and play around with your attention throughout the body. Become aware of your feet. Imagine you're filling your body, your whole body, with your attention, with your awareness. You could imagine that it's your awareness, your attention is filling your body like water, and just play around with it for a couple hours as you take a long walk and you sit on a bench in a park. I recommend a park, and don't get distracted by others. Relax, sit down with yourself and just play around with your awareness. Feel the trees, feel the and mostly keep your attention on any pain and any kind of like discomfort and negative emotions. Focus on them more. Keep your attention on them even more. And believe that you can heal yourself just by doing that. Okay? Don't expect that it is gonna heal you. Expectation is also another thought. Okay? So don't expect anything. Just watch. Just watch. Just close your eyes and become aware and feel sense your feet and the whole body, okay? So that's the third step. Take some time to yourself, at least 3 times a week. Stay away from other people, stay away from internet, and just go to a park and just chill and relax, at least for an hour, okay? 1 hour, 2, 3 times a week, once a week if you can't, if you have a busy schedule. Anyway, I need to go now. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, okay? And if you need help clearing an emotional blockage, then I'm your man. So I do rapid emotional healing, rapid chakra, energy blockage healing as well, therapy and stuff like that. The program runs on 2 months, okay? This is how I do it. So you tell me your problem, be it whatever it is, okay? Self-esteem issues, light depression. I don't work with I don't work with suicidal people, okay? I cannot, if you're suicidal, I cannot work with you. I'm sorry about that, but maybe somebody else. I'm not specialized to work with people like that. Light depression, breakup, whatever it is, modern life problems, dating problems like fear of talking to women or whatever you got, okay? I can help you out with that, okay? Porn addiction, all that stuff, anxiety, depression. So I can help you clear that, okay? I can help you clear that quickly. The second part would be, if you're also interested in that, some people are they come to me just for healing, okay? And that's fine. Other people come to me for healing and spiritual awakening. They're at a good level, or they would like to awaken, or they're going through a dark night of the soul. They're going through an awakening, it's hard for them. I can help you out quickly, okay? In like 2 months tops, we can stabilize the awakening. Plus, what I do is I help people access higher states of consciousness without psychedelics and make them permanent, okay? Without any plans, without nothing, and functional states that you could go to work with, okay? You can go to work and you feel, so states like unconditional love, 0% thoughts, automatic recycling or healing of trauma. Your body starts healing itself, your mind heals itself, your heart is healing at all times. This is also another state of consciousness. So yeah, higher states of enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment, and higher states of consciousness, basically. This is what I teach, the second thing that I teach, that I coach. If you're interested in working with me directly, be it in healing or spiritual awakening and accessing higher states of consciousness, then you can jump on a free consultation call with me, and I'll leave the link in the description below. Book a convenient time for you. And let's talk about what you would like to accomplish, okay? So, free consultation call, it's about an hour. Tell me about your issue. If we're a good fit, then we start working together, all right? Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope to see you again soon. I'm planning on doing more of these videos live, YouTube and Facebook, okay? At least a couple times a week. So thank you so much for watching. Share, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye. You will find the link for the consultation, free consultation. You find it down below in the description and in the comments. All right, see you.